Yesterday, H3H3 Productions revealed something he's been working on for a long time now in secret, like the fucking Manhattan Project of YouTube drama exposed videos. He released the content nuke on Keemstar. It's 46 minutes of high octane, full throttle, nuts to butts drama action, and I'll say it's one of the only 40 plus minute exposed videos I was able to watch start to finish without falling asleep. However, it is still just a lot of things that have been covered for years. Everything Ethan talks about is shit people have shit on Keemstar for years, so there's no new information in the video. It's kind of just like an anime lore explanation video for this anime character of Keemstar, like an episode recap. Here's what happened previously on Keemstar being an asshole. Ethan's basically just compiled all the big Keemstar douchebag moments and put them into this video compendium. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm sure there's a lot of people that weren't familiar with some of the shit he's done in his past, and Ethan just brought it to their attention. It's just for me personally, since I love to keep up with internet drama and squabbles between internet people, I would have liked to see something new from Ethan. Like maybe Ethan finds a director's cut of Cats that has Keemstar acting in it, and then he exposes Keemstar for being a bad actor and having poor taste in picking the movies he's in. But again, there's nothing wrong with it still just being things that have been covered in the past. The reason I'm even talking about it right now isn't so much because I care about Ethan and Keemstar having internet beef. It's actually what I think Ethan did that I think sets a terrible precedent for the entire platform going forward and could lead to a disastrous future. In Ethan's content nuke, he mentions Keemstar's sponsor G Fuel 8 times, constantly saying things like, "Why is G Fuel sponsoring you? They shouldn't be sponsoring you. This is kind of fucked up that you still have sponsors. How is this possible?" Just implying that he needs to lose his sponsorship with G Fuel, you know? So by implying these things, Ethan ignited his fan base to spam G Fuel, forcing them to drop Keemstar, which happened. G Fuel did drop Keemstar, and people went wild in celebration. It was like the end of Star Wars Phantom Menace. They had like this huge fucking parade, medals were given out because they defeated Keemstar, at least financially. They got rid of his biggest sponsor that he's had for many years. And a lot of people say, you know what, yeah, it is a slimy tactic, because it is. Going after someone's sponsors and employment, that is such a fucked up, low tactic. That's shit you see those middle-aged Karens on Twitter doing when they have an argument with someone where they start contacting the employer of the person they're arguing with, trying to get them fired. It's the same tactic that Ethan and his fan base have done to Keemstar. And a lot of people say, yeah, it is kind of fucked up, but it's Keemstar, so we're fine with it. And you shouldn't be. Yeah, Keemstar's done a ton of fucked up shit that definitely deserves consequences, but taking it into your hands as like the arbiter of justice to spam his advertisers to get him to drop them, you don't see how that could be used against you? It's like the same thing for people who are constantly begging for the government to censor the internet because there's things they don't like on it. It's a very slippery slope that can get out of control very quickly. So sticking with Keemstar losing G Fuel. Well, him losing G Fuel wasn't enough for the bloodlust of the fan base. Now on the subreddit, they're taking action against Spotify because Keemstar is on Spotify, so now they're lobbying and spamming Spotify to drop Keemstar, another one of his big advertisers. So you see what's happening, right? What Ethan has done is he's given power to the fan base to ruin anyone's career. And what this does is that tells everyone else on YouTube with a following they can do the same thing because these advertisers are going to cave to pressure. It's very similar to the most recent YouTube adpocalypse where Matt got a bunch of people together to contact advertisers on YouTube and telling them to drop, which they eventually did, and that fucked a ton of YouTubers and destroyed a lot of YouTube careers. It's the same thing, but now done on an individual level we haven't seen before. Let me tell you exactly how this could go. What Keemstar could do, Keemstar could ignite his fan base to spam Ethan's advertisers with Gokanaru's video, The Death of H3H3. In this video, YouTuber Gokanaru does a ton of research and has a very long and thorough video that paints Ethan in the worst light possible. He has a bunch of clips where Ethan's casually saying the N-word, saying some other heinous shit, and doing some things that advertisers might not like. If Keemstar gets his fanbase to spam Ethan's advertisers with that, and the pressure's enough, they could drop Ethan. Same way G Fuel just did to Keemstar, the same tactic. What Ethan's done is he's opened up this extremely dangerous can of worms. Now, I'm not here defending Keemstar. I'm not trying to white knight him and be his chat mod, deleting mean messages and licking the piss off of his toilet seat. And I hate that I even have to clarify that. I think it's pretty clear that I'm not defending Keemstar, but the internet's already going in this way where if you don't agree with everything Ethan did in his video, all of his methods, then you're just defending Keemstar and you're a bad person. I'm saying what's happened to him and what Ethan has started is extremely bad for anyone on the internet. I'll use something from Ethan's video for an example. In In Ethan's video, he talked about the time Keemstar falsely accused a RuneScape streamer named Tony of being a pedophile. Well, let's say Keemstar never made that mistake back then. Let's say he made that mistake tomorrow. Tomorrow, Keemstar says, this RuneScape streamer named Tony is a pedophile. And then people hear that, and now with what Ethan has shown them, they say, well, that's fucked up. It's time for justice. So they start reporting that Tony is a pedophile to Twitch, to RuneScape, and to Tony's advertisers and spam the shit out of him until all three drop him, and now Tony has lost everything even though he's done nothing wrong, just because Keemstar made a mistake and his fan base went behind it and started spamming. That's what Ethan has set in motion. Whether the information is right or wrong, whether the person deserves it or not, most people seem to agree that Keemstar deserved it, but this can absolutely happen to someone that truly doesn't deserve it by any possible measure. Ethan's like the Prometheus who brought fire to YouTube comments. He's shown that if you just weaponize YouTube commenters and get them to rally together and spam these advertisers, they will cave to pressure. Giving that much power to a mob mentality and cancel culture is super dangerous, especially on a platform like YouTube, where a lot of people invest their entire lives into a YouTuber. Like, they make their personal identity just being a super fan of a YouTuber, so when that YouTuber is being attacked or engaging in internet squabbles with another YouTuber, now these people can actually do something super harmful to the other side that they might not deserve, making them lose sponsors. And a lot of YouTubers rely on sponsors because the YouTube ad revenue is super all over the place for a lot of people. You can get 1 million views and get 71 cents. So these people do rely on sponsors for their livelihood, and now what Ethan has shown is that you can fuck that as long as you just have enough people doing it for you. Which, I'm super surprised he even did this tactic. Ethan's always been someone that's championed against the kind of cancel culture dogpiling shit. But I guess for Keemstar, he's decided to make an exception and open Pandora's box. It's silly to think that this is going to be isolated to just Keemstar. That's not how the internet works. If it can happen to one person, it can happen to everyone. There's no world where the internet only uses this weapon one time and against one person. This hopefully won't be commonplace, but now that it's been shown to be effective, I can absolutely see a lot of people on YouTube using this against people they don't like, and that's the worst part. Keep in mind, these companies, they're not the moral police. They're not the fucking hall monitors in the school lobbies making sure people aren't running in the halls or chewing gum. These people don't give a fuck. What they care about is if having that person on their roster as endorsed by that company is hurting their image. And if enough people are telling them this is hurting your image, they're just going to drop them. They're not going to do any research. You can take anything out of context, spin any narrative you want, even without evidence, and get people dropped. It's happened before, just not on like a YouTuber personal level. And your own subreddit's already starting to go down that path. They've already got the big justice boner for fucking Keemstar, so now they've gone to his other advertisers like Spotify. They're trying to deplatform him from Spotify and a lot of other things. Now, how far does that go? Will they now start trying to deplatform and force sponsors out of deals with the people on Twitter that were defending Keemstar? And not even defending Keemstar, just people saying Ethan may have went a little far targeting advertisers. Well, this group that's now going after Spotify and the one that attacked G Fuel, well, they could do that to the people that are now trying to spin Ethan as some kind of bad guy for this. It's just, you can see how it's already starting to snowball into something that could be bad for everyone on the platform. But yeah, overall, the video was entertaining. It served the purpose that Ethan wanted it to serve, but I couldn't help but have this sour taste of ass in my mouth when he kept bringing up the sponsors, clearly making it a point to attack the sponsors without him recognizing the far-reaching consequences that kind of tactic can have, not just to Keemstar, but to innocent people on the platform, and could happen to Ethan as well. It's just something that could absolutely backfire on everyone. It's just a double-edged dildo that is gonna fuck everyone if this becomes a mainstream approach to things. But who knows, maybe I'm wrong, and maybe this is a totally one-time thing, but knowing the internet, I just don't see that being the case. So that's all I wanted to talk about, and yeah, that's about it. So yeah.